So took a break, got rid of the cat, and back. So here you're going to compare 4/12 to 1/6. So both of them are less than half, but you can easily turn that 6 into a 12 by multiplying 6 times 2, and then multiply the 1 times 2, and then you're going to have a fraction that you can easily compare to 4/12, because that one will have a denominator of 12 also. Here you can easily turn this 3 into a 6, so you can multiply this 3 times 2 and get 6, multiply the 1 times 2, and now you can easily compare them. And over here, we have 1/3 and 2/4. This is half. 2 is half of 4. Is this more or less than half? Is 1 more or less than half of 3? That's all you need to know for that one. All right, down here you have, again, half. Is 2 more or less than half of 5? That's all you need to know. Here, 4/8 and 2/4. Is 4 more or less than half of 8? And is 2 more or less than half of 4? If you know that, you can easily compare them. 7/12 and 2/4. This 2 is half of 4, so is 7 more or less than half of 12? And here we have 1/8 and 3/4. Again, 3 is more than half of 4. Is 1 more or less than half of 8? Just ignore the dog. Now that I get rid of the cat, I have the dog. A recipe uses 2/3 cup of flour and 5/8 cup of blueberries. Is there more flour or more blueberries in the recipe? So you have to just compare 2/3 and 5/8. You can't really multiply 3 times anything and get 8. So what you could do is multiply 3 times 8, and you'd have to multiply this times 8. If you multiply 3 times 8, you have to multiply 2 times 8. And then if you multiply 8 times 3, you have to multiply 5 times 3. And then they'll have the same denominator, and you can easily compare them. Over here, same thing here, 5/6 and 4/5. You can multiply the 6 times 5 to get a common denominator, or you can think about this one has 1/4 left to get to the whole, and this one has 1/5 left to get to the whole, so which is a smaller piece. So how close is it to the whole? We did that in class. You'll remember that. All right, last page. This will be your last homework page. Pedro fills a glass 2/4 full with orange juice. Which of the following fractions is greater than 2/4? So you're looking for a fraction that is greater than half, because 2/4, 2 is half of 4. Today, Ian wants to run less than 7/12 of a mile. Which of the following distances is less than 7/12 of a mile? So you're this is more than half. So if you can find anything that's less than half, you will know that you found it, although there does not look like there's anything less than half. So find something that you can make a common denominator of 12. So if you multiply 4 times 3 and 3 times 3, you'd have a common denominator. 3 times 4 and 2 times 4, you'd have a common denominator. 6 times 2 and 5 times 2, you'll have a common denominator. That means that when you do that, you'll have the bottom number will be 12 for all of them. And you can easily compare them. They'll both be 12. And this 4 times 3 and 2 times 3. So once you do that, you can easily compare them. All right, Mrs. Davis traveled 372,645 miles last year on business. What is the value of the 6 in this number? What is the value of the 6? This is place value. So if you know what place this is in, you'll know what the value is. You should know that one easily. One section of an auditorium has 12 rows of seats. Each row has 13 seats. What is the total number of seats in that section? So if there's 12 rows of seats and each row is 13, 12 times 13, that's going to give you your answer. Sam has 12 black and white photos and 18 color photos. He wants to put the photos in equal rows, so each row either has black and white photos only or color photos only. How many rows can Sam arrange the photos? So you're thinking of numbers that are all factors of 18 and 12. So find a row where all the numbers are factors of 18 and 12. the teacher writes 10/12 on the board and he asks the students to write the fraction in its simplest form. Who writes the correct answer? So simplest form, we did that in class, you'll remember, where you just divide it down. So you're going to divide 10 times a number and 12 times the same number as far down as you can. So if you start with 2, 10 divided by 2 is going to give you an answer, and 12 divided by 2 down here. Then see if you can keep dividing down, and if not, you've gotten to the simplest answer. All right, that's it for your homework.